There are many cultural issues that make us successful, but also test us. One being, do you speak your native language? You're Asian, like I'm Korean. You don't speak Korean? I've had parents say, you don't speak Korean, you're dumb at a very
Right.
young age. When you're dating in the dating scene, the second question may be, first of all, hey, you connect as Asians, but then do you speak Korean? Like if it's a Korean dating Korean. So tell us about how this impacts mental health.
Our identities are very important to us, and my racial identity is important to me now. And sometimes that gets questioned, and that is very harmful. And I think when you don't speak the language, your ancestral language, I don't speak Japanese, and I'm mixed heritage. I think, and in terms of pure blood, I'm not, and that has meant that people treat me differently. It's also meant that impacts how I feel, whether I belong, whether I feel like I belong to the Japanese American community or not, or the Pan Asian community, and not speaking your language can be a result of many things. In my case, I think it had to do with the fact that my dad was interned during World War II, and they were not allowed to speak Japanese. So he's the youngest of 12 children. He doesn't speak Japanese. He didn't. And so, he knew words from being a child. So when he went to Japan, the only thing he could understand was, the mothers scolding their children. So he lost that language, that ancestral language, in part because of racism. So people have to realize that when you don't speak the language, there's many reasons. Like we talked before, when you come to this country, people want to succeed. And a lot of parents don't speak the language at home because then my children won't be as fluent in English. And that has been I've heard that in the community as well. And the opposite as well, right? We have to make sure our children speak the language. But I think, that becomes a gatekeeping kind of thing. Like, do you belong to that community? And that can be very hurtful for individuals. And I also think that a lot of times, it's hurtful for the community too, because our communities have to grow and adapt. Asian American communities in this country have to adapt to certain things, I believe, including the fact that you have Americanized, quote unquote, English speaking, right,